Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm a group fitness instructor and physical therapist. Today's class is a Pilates class. You don't need anything other than a mat today, maybe some water. I will show lots of modifications. So my theory is beginners to advanced should be able to take a class and be able to modify it to their level. So if I get to an exercise and I'm describing it for options and you already know that exercise, start it. You do not have to wait for me to explain it. Or just tap the little 10-second fast forward through the explanation. But make sure that, yes, if you're a beginner, you listen to all the options so you can pick a good one for your body. Even if you're advanced, you should be picking a good one for your body. So listening to your core is going to involve contracting your pelvic floor, making sure your abdominal wall stays compressed with your transverse abdominal muscle, and not letting your belly bulge and dome outward. That's usually the biggest mistake people are going to make with their core, is you watch them come up into a curl or they do something with both legs off the ground and your belly goes boop outward. So if you're not sure if your core is doing that or if your belly is doing that, videotape yourself. Put your phone up, tape yourself doing a few exercises and look at how well you're staying compressed. And that's usually some good visual feedback. So let's get started. Come on down onto your back. I am not going to play any music during class so that you can pick whatever music you want to listen to, or if you just want to enjoy the peace and quiet. So feet about hip distance apart, flat on the floor, knees bent, pelvic floor, close and lift through that muscle group, pulling that up into the pelvis. Okay, that controls bowel bladder. So think about holding in gas, holding in urine. That transverse abdominal muscle will compress your belly to your spine. So it's not a forced tilt. So don't lift your tailbone and tuck and smoosh your back into the floor, okay? Think about this drawing of the low belly in towards your back, like zipping up a tight pair of pants. Hands into the floor, shoulders back, create length along your spine, and breathe. So you have to allow that rib cage to move with your exercises and your breath. You cannot hold your breath and exercise. Well, you can, but it's not supposed to, okay? So once you've got all that compressed in, pick your head up, take a look at the belly. This is where I'm looking for, are you doming? Is your belly pushing out or getting bigger? And if it didn't, then you can start to come up a little higher, so shoulders, maybe shoulder blades off of the floor. Reach through those fingertips, and again, reconnect. Make sure you're really focusing on that core system. Bringing the arms overhead with an inhale and exhale down. So we're just going to do a few warm-ups, and making sure that you can start to move and engage that core at the same time. If your neck gets tired, can't talk today, then you can put it down on the mat. Okay, so that includes some of the exercises during class. That would be a good modification, or putting one or both hands behind your head. Do one more breath and pause. I want you to go ahead and alternate march your feet, right and left. Again, starting to move through that lower body, keeping that core engaged. Breathe. One more on each leg. Now kick the right leg out straight and lift it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put it down, left leg out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put it down. Side bend to reach towards the foot center, other foot center. Keep alternating sides. Breathe, breathe. Now we are going to try to challenge you a little bit, because we're going to go right from warm-up into the 100. So if you're familiar with it and you know your level, you can go ahead and start it at any time. Palms are facing the floor. You're going to pump into the floor strong. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Level 1, feet stay down. Level 2 to knee level. 3, straighten your legs, and 4, lower your legs towards the floor. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staccato breath. Finish a breath, then pull it in and lower down. We're going to move into the diamond. Both feet are going to extend over the pelvis, hands and shoulders into the mat. Get your core set. You're going to flex your feet. Soften your knees a little bit, so bend them, and then heel in, toe out. And you should look like you have this little diamond shape here between your legs, okay? It is a double leg lower, so your lower might be a couple inches, okay? Your modification would be to bring your knees back together with your feet, open your knees just a little for a tiny diamond, and lower from here, and keep it really close to your body, okay? So if it's a little bigger, your legs are longer levers, it's going to be more difficult. So you're lowering down to where you feel like you can control that and pulling back up. And that's it. And each rep might look different. Maybe you're really doing a good job compressing and you can get a little lower. And the next one you're like, whoop, lost it. Pull it back up. Strong press together with those heels. Breathe. Keep pulling that in. One more. Now, turn your legs parallel again and straighten them out. You can flex or point. I don't care which. We are going to do a double leg lower event again, but it's going to be a double leg bicycle. So as you do your lower, once you get to a certain point, you get to bend and pull it in and kick it back up. And then we will do a reverse where you bend first, kick out, and circle around. So you can do a single leg and keep alternating your legs. You can also keep one foot on the floor and be doing the same leg for a few and then switch and go to the other leg, okay? So those would be some modifications. Here we go, pelvic floor in, belly flat, lowering down to where you can and then pull it in and around and kick up. Exhale, and do not put your hands underneath your butt. That is cheating. You could probably hang out here all day, okay? All you're doing is using your arms and your glutes. So I'd rather have you do good form and have a much smaller range of motion and rely on your core to do that work. Legs are squeezed together nice and strong, getting that inner thigh to kick in. And we're all going to be doing a different number because maybe my bicycle is smaller or a little quicker than yours. And so I'm not counting. You're going at your pace. Now I do want you to reverse it. So bend, kick out, scoop, double leg lift. Bend, scoop. Keep breathing. Last couple. And release the legs down. Give them a little break. We're going to move into single leg stretch, so fairly traditional for a mat Pilates class. You've got the option of keeping the leg into the floor. So once your core is set and you come up into a curl, you either have the option of alternating your leg here with your exhale, or your feet come off of the floor and you extend a leg out. So about your face level, okay? It doesn't have to be way down towards the floor. It's kind of outward, not necessarily downward. And then make sure that that leg that's coming in, you've got a light hand placement on top of the knee, light placement down the side of the leg. Do not grab it and hold yourself up. Yeah? Here we go. We've got an exhale. Inhale as you switch. Tuck your chin, take a look at the belly. Four, three, two, one, and release everything down. Now we're moving into crisscross. I forgot we actually were doing this, so I use that as an example when I was talking about the class. Because again, there are some options. So if you already know your crisscross, it's a pretty staple mat Pilates exercise. Just go for it. Yeah. Hands behind the head. Everybody's core is set. Come up into your curl. And the upper body is identical. You are rotating. You are looking down at your elbow on the floor and then bring it back center. You stay in your curl. Do not come out of it. So stay up, curl from there, center. You can add a leg. You can also then start with both feet off the floor and just do the upper body. Or our legs look like they did on our single leg stretch. You lengthen. Inhale, center. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, exhale. And again, looking down at that elbow, pulls you around just a couple more degrees into that twist. One more each side. And release the head and chest. Pull the knees in. Just stretch out the back into some flexion. We're going to go into roll up. So kick your legs out straight. Squeeze them together if you can. If they're more comfortable hip distance apart, that's fine. And again, you can be point or flex. I tend to flex on this one. It helps kind of fire my quads a little bit more and keep those legs engaged. Rolling up sounds exactly like what it is. One vertebrae at a time. Think about leading with your hands. Slowly peel. Peel, 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 peel over an imaginary ball. So you are actually doing a sitting curl. Belly is pulled back to your spine. It's not just like collapse down to your feet. It's an actual contraction. Roll it up to sitting. And then I want you to peel it down one vertebrae at a time, going as slow as you can, easing into those last couple degrees so that you don't arch your back and flare the rib cage. Okay? I'm gonna move a little bit on my mat. Here we go. Pull, 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 pull. Sit tall and reverse that. Roll down. One more. And release that. All right, I moved way out of the picture, so I'm gonna bring myself back. And you're gonna come to your forearms. We're gonna do diagonal toe taps. So this one, the goal is to keep your heart elevated and your chest up and that rib cage and belly tucked tight without caving down. So I don't want your shoulders to blend with your jawline, okay? Really think about opening up that chest, pinch your shoulders back, lengthen your neck. Belly in, pelvic floor tight. Your feet come up to that tabletop position again. This time we're gonna rotate, and as we do, you're gonna open the hip. So let the hip drop and pull back up from the hip and then come back center. So if I keep my knees at 90, right, all my hip is just moving. It's not this, okay? So you don't twist and like tap and like move the knees. So really make that motion come from that hip joint. Rotate to the other side, lower from the hip, pull back up and twist. And all you're doing is windshield wipering back and forth. You can do just the rotation. You do not have to do the leg lower. You can also come to your back and do just the twist. Okay, but really keep that core engaged. As you lower those legs, fight it, fight it, fight it. Knees stay locked out. Just the hips are moving when you lower the leg. Now you can stay where you're at, or you can straighten those legs and lower. I'm going to drop on that diagonal, pull them up, and lower and drop on the diagonal. And again, do not do this if, as you lower those legs, you're starting to feel that back arch and your abdominal wall puffs out. And again, you could be flexed through the feet or pointed. One more to each side. And release the legs down. Bring it up to sitting. Come on up. So, this one's going to be a little bit more of like a hip mobility, getting some hip like external and internal rotation. So you may not necessarily feel a burn so much, but this one, be mindful of hip pain. If it really does bother the hip, then maybe skip this one or do a plank, something else in the meantime to work on your core. But starting off, you're gonna actually sit in a side sit position, kind of this one leg back, one leg front, crisscross kind of thing, okay? So if you look at me from the side, I'm here. So we're gonna start off with pressing up to a tall kneel. So you're gonna press yourself forward. Now your legs switch. So I'm gonna push my right leg out, my left comes in, and you sit. And now we're exactly how we were, but on the other side. And that's what we're gonna start with. So we're gonna keep switching those legs, okay? So core set, pelvic floor up, press up tall, switch your legs, lower down. Press up tall, switch your legs, lower down. It sounds like cracking, but it's not. My pants keep catching on my my mat, so it's not my hips or knees cracking. Now you can go one leg at a time. Did you hear that? Yeah, that was my pants on the mat. I'm not like breaking anything, but that does sound bad. So I'm gonna bring it forward maybe a little bit. We'll get up close and personal for a few seconds. There we go. Press, switch, and lower. We're just gonna do again like a few of these, and then we are gonna change this to a little bit harder. One more time, and then finish it off, come back to where you started, okay? All right, now, the front version. You're gonna actually start with those feet out in front, and I want you to drop down to one side, and we're kind of gonna face a little bit of a diagonal. So we're back in that same position, all right? And then from here, sit your butt back, rotate your hips in the front, and come to the other side. And again, now we're in the exact same position, but instead of switching your legs behind us, you're switching them in front. So core set, roll from the front onto the side. Front, pull it in, and side. So again, just some really deep like hip mobility. What's that flexibility in that hip? I keep moving. It's okay. Rearrange yourself. Core is set because you're trying to keep your body up as you pull those legs in. So if you have to put your hands back for this one, this could be a modification. You don't have to work quite as hard, and you can, maybe your hips don't drop all the way to the floor. Maybe do a gentle windshield wiper there, okay? Let's finish it. And then I want you to go ahead and center yourself off again and start with this position, but we're gonna work the back leg. So we're gonna lift that back leg up. I want you to take yourself forward a little bit, okay? So I'm in a little bit of a diagonal. All right, forward, but I'm not collapsed. So make sure that heart is up, and then the back leg is gonna lift. And we're gonna lift that up and down, okay? So we're gonna lift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, and we're going to swing it to the other side. Normally we would do a whole lot more, but we've got some other leg stuff coming, so we're just going to do some singles with this today. Same thing. Now you could modify this to come down to the floor, and you could do your traditional leg lifts if that feels better for your hip. Lift 1, 2, and try not to like lean down here. If you can't get that leg up, go to your side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30, and release. All right, we're gonna move from that onto our side, and we're gonna do some butt mats, bigger leg kicks. Then we're gonna hold that leg up. Bottom leg is gonna lift to it, up and down for some inner thigh, and then we've got some pulses. So come on down to a side, pick a side, doesn't matter, and lay yourself flat. Now, with the butt mat, use a little bit of support into the floor for some control. If you really have a ballet background, you can do whatever you want with the other arm. You can hold them overhead as we're doing the kick if you don't need any extra stability. But what I want you to be heel in, toe out, kind of like the diamond. And then this top leg is gonna kick, and when it does, you get to point, but then I want you to flex it and squeeze your buns super hard as you lower it down, okay? So it's kind of a quick, slow, 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 quick, slow, 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 slow. Please do not harm your hamstring. Do not sacrifice form for just trying to kick your leg higher, okay? So if you're feeling a little tight and you want to stretch a little bit, just stretch for a couple seconds, and then here we go. So belly in, pelvic floor tight. You ready? Kick, flex, and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just a few more, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, turn the legs parallel to each other so that top leg kneecap is facing forward and so is the bottom. Hold that up. Bottom leg is going to lift to it. So belly back, pelvic floor in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up and together and then pulse up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29. There's 30. Lower it down and release. And now we have the other side. So we've got 15 of the butt mats. We have 30 inner thigh lifts and then 30 pulses. Okay, come on down. And again, if you're like, I don't know what my hamstring feels like on this side, stretch it a little bit before you do those first couple butt mats, okay? But ease into the first few. Maybe just don't go like 110%. Belly back, pelvic floor in. Get some leg support. Heel together, toe out, so we're externally rotated through the hip. And here we go. We've got kick, flex, and slow pull. 2, 3, 4. Squeeze your buns coming down. 5, 6, 7, 8, belly tight, 9, 10, 11, 12, strong leg, 13, 14, and 15. Now, instead of heels together, toe out, parallel them. Make sure that core is set again. Hold the top leg up, bottom leg lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now hold it up and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice job. Hopefully you felt that whole inner thigh, outer thigh area. Here we go, moving on. We've got a side bend with a twist coming. So it's a side plank position. You are pushing up. You are going to rotate through for that twist, open back up, and lower down out of your plank. Now, whether you want to do this from your hand or if you'd rather go from your forearm, it's up to you. Totally fine either way. Options for legs are either going to be from the knees, rotate, or from the extended legs and the feet. Okay? I'm not sure what's happening there. You guys see I sprouted. We're going to try to tuck that back. My hair always seems to have a life of its own. Okay, so here we go. Pick your side and your plank position. Get your belly back, pelvic floor in. You're going to strong push up into your plank, rotate through, open back up, and lower down. Lift up, rotate, open back up, lower down. Up, rotate, here, and down. Up, rotate, couple more. One more time. Lift. Now, I'm going to choose to remember which leg I do by which one is my top leg here. Okay, so for what comes next, because we're going to do giraffe, and it's a big leg movement, and you want to make sure you don't do it twice. So my leg is on top. I'm going to remember what leg that is, and that's what I'm going to do for the giraffe. So I want you to come around into a front plank. From here, you're going to be pushing into a down dog. That leg that I picked to work on is going to lift once, twice, and roll back into your plank. Modifications. You can push back into your down dog and hold it. You don't have to do your leg lift, or your leg lift can be smaller. You can also come from your knees, all right, and extend, do 2 leg lifts, and then pull it in. It is not an arch to the back, so make sure you're not like kicking that super high. So here we go, belly tight, press back. We have lift, tap, lift, down, and roll. Press back 2. Press back 3. Press back 4. Press back 5. 6. Core set. 2 more times. Here's 7. And here's 8. And release it down. Switching to your other side for the side bend with a twist. So choose your hand position, either hand or forearm, knees or feet. Get prepped, belly back, pelvic floor. Press up, rotate, open, and lower. Press up, and down. Couple more. 3, 2. That time something did crack. I don't know what it was. 1, I think it was my ankle. And release. Moving right around into giraffe. I'm gonna work my top leg. You might have worked your bottom. Totally fine, okay? Here we go. Pick your position. Core set. Press back. Then you got 2 leg lifts. 1, 2. Roll down. Press back. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 'Last one. Release, and then all the way to the stomach. Extend the arms out. You guys are almost there. Last one. Working on some back extension from here. Arms and legs really long. Okay, reaching them out away from your body. You're going to alternate lift and lower, lift and lower. If this bothers your shoulders, just do the legs. If you want to, you can move to a double arm, double leg lift, up and down. Now hold it up. Belly still tight, pelvic floor still in. And release down. Shake that out a little bit. Come up onto your forearms. And time to stretch. So lengthen your belly. Pull that heart through. You can press up if you want a little higher. And really exhale, drop through that belly. Roll it down, reach back, grab a hold of your foot, stretch that in for a quad stretch. If that hurts, do range of motion with your knee. Switch it. And release that. Go ahead and roll yourself over onto your back. Cross one ankle over on the other leg. Pull that in. We're going to stretch out that hip and butt. I like to keep control of the top leg because I can kind of manipulate it a little bit better with my arms. You can go side to side with it. Rotate it a little bit. If you want to, you can cradle it. Breathe. Switch legs, cross it over, pull everything in towards that chest. And release that, let your knees roll to the side. Open up through that rib cage, keep that shoulder back. You can look away from that twist. Switch to the other side. Shoulders glued into the floor. Bring it center. We're going to get an inner thigh stretch. I want you to extend one leg out. You can either take this knee and put the foot down and let it drop to the side. You can support it and open it up. I'm going to straighten that out. I'm going to grab either behind knee, calf, ankle, or foot, and then drop and open to the side. And release that. Switch to the other leg. Release that in. Reach through the arms and feet. Take one leg, roll yourself up. We've got one more stretch. Extend those legs long, sit up tall, and then extend and reach yourself forward. So I still want you to think about taking that heart out, not just down to the thighs or the knees. You can just walk those hands out to where you can. You can clasp your feet if you want. And again, think about length through your spine. And roll it all the way up. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And you guys are all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. If you have questions, comments, let me know. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.